don't have a fancy ATV or something like that to take all your stuff around your property, these little wagons work pretty good, pretty nice. Think I got everything to get started. Oh, wait, hold up. Forgetting something pretty important. Whew! Almost forgot. Dang, that would have been bad. All right, I think we can get going. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great and wonderful day.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, sun.
Woohoo! Sun.
Actually, I haven't had any rain for a few days, and not supposed to get any more rain for a few days. So, trying to get some of these projects knocked out. Take it away.
I'm not wearing my mud boots today. I'm so excited. We had originally intended to put a water catchment for the chickens. We never got around to it. And the rains just came and we had to move the chicken coop, and then they were getting slaughtered by raccoons and we had to move it again. And so now they're in a spot and it's not raining and it's not muddy. We can get this project done finally.
Well, it's currently not muddy.
Right. So we've got one gutter on the chicken coop already, and we're going to, or Jeff is going to put up another one, and he got a great deal on, what is that thing? A sprayer?
Yeah, a sprayer tank that Tractor Supply had like 3 of them on a clearance sitting outside and said, you know, the pump, they may work, may not work. They're kind of returns or something. I don't know. They're on clearance. Got a really good deal on them.
We got a great deal on them.
Got 3 of them. Got one working. Was able to actually resell that one that I got working to make up even almost the whole cost that I paid for them all, because it was real cheap for all 3 of them, because I think those, I had 2 15-gallon and a 25, and the 25 is what I'm going to use for the rain catchment, which was my thought for it.
So we're going to take this 25-gallon tank and we're going to use it for the rainwater catchment for our chickens, so we don't have to go all the way down to the end to fill their water up.
So
let's get started.
Stay tuned. So if any of y'all watched when we built the, drop them. Remembered when we built the chicken coop, we intended to make this like a little brooder area for hatched chicks we bought, yada yada yada. But then after finding a good deal on those tanks that fit in here, we decided this would be a good area to still keep our feed, keeps it, dry, but we still got the weather buckets on them anyway, and would give us enough room to put a water catchment in here, since we've got decent sized roof on this, have it all filtered in to hold the tank and be up high enough still to where buckets, feed bags, or anything could still fit underneath it. So got 2 versatile storage areas to hold everything we need for all the chicken stuff to be in one spot. And hopefully once we get it in here too, we also won't have to really hopefully be worried about the freezing issue, because I should be able to put a little insulation around it where the chickens can't get to it, and the inside of the coop stays pretty decently warm even during the winter time, to where maybe I might be able to get away with a little bit of pipe insulation to where the chickens hopefully won't peck it like crazy, but of course they peck and eat at everything. Putting the bottom of this at 16 inches up, putting this on top of this to kind of support it, and just screwing it back to my other little wall here we'll start getting my base on this side, and then I'll just put another one in between this 2x4 over here. Okay, I know. I'm a little quiet today trying to get this stuff, you know, gotta think and can't speak at the same time. So, you know, right now I'm just making like a little shelf for this to sit on. And what I've got here is it came with this little thing. And of course I've cleaned out the tank all the way. This was a little on-off valve that came with it. So on one end of this tank, I'm using it to feed to the outside water. So I'll have an on-off for wintertime use to cut it off, cut it on during the summer. And it'll run my little outside waterers that I had before. And then I'm also going to put, when I bring this outside the building, I'm also going to put a little faucet there too, because we still have, you know, a couple that we still just fill up little small mason jar fulls of water for like the silkies that are over here. So I've got that there. The other line that came from the pump down here, this actually fed to the pump. And this is just one of those, it's got like a, because the threading on both of these ends is like a water hose size. So I actually had this hooked up to some old stuff that I had, and it's got a 3/4 inch fitting on one end and then like the water hose type connection on the other. And that'll poke through the hole that I drilled into the wall to bring the water down to make some waterers on the inside as well. And so now here, and of course the top here will be the, well, the top here, that's where the water is going to go in. And then right above here, I'm going to make an overflow valve, or an overflow, see if I can talk right today. Put an overflow right here to go out also. Now I'm only going to do this at about 3/4 of an inch. I'm really thinking I should probably make like an inch space or even bigger, which may be a redesign later, you know, because all the water coming in, I don't want it spewing and leaking anywhere else. So hopefully it'll be enough just to shoot out the side. I'm using a 1 1/8 bit to drill the hole for the 3/4 inch chicken. What you doing? Want some mommy's coffee?
She does not get my coffee.
Because I'm using a this is actually recycled off of the, I'm gonna cut this other end off, but the threaded end here, 1 1/8 should fit through this, the threaded 3/4 inch end. And I've just got a 3/4 inch slip on one side, threaded female on the other, with a big round washer, garden washer, that I'm going to slide over the threading. And then I'll take this piece, like I did on my bucket that I had on the outside, put it on the inside, screw them together to make a seal there, and then just stub off this 3/4 inch pipe out the deal. All right, well that looks like that's sealing pretty good with that idea. I used one of these little round, like an O-ring type garden hose washers. They seem to work pretty good to slip over there, because it's those flat ones, it's kind of hard to wiggle it down. The O-ring kind, you can just kind of roll down the threads to get it over there. I think we're getting the gutter all up into place.
Ish.
Tried to make it go more down at an angle to make sure that it comes back here in the middle to run straight into the tank up here. So, can you hand me that on the ground, please?
Now, when we designed the chicken coop, this was not one of our original intentions. So we're having to
compromise how we're putting it all up. So that's one thing to think about if you want to try to build something like this. Think ahead.
There was nothing to think ahead. This wasn't something we had planned on doing. The water catchment that we had originally planned on was for the bucket that we had sitting on the outside. So we're having to kind of finagle some things.
It's always good up here. Well, it looks like I gotta go to the store anyway to finish up the rest of the screw-on attachments to.
We're gonna have to spend money to make this work.
Yeah, I've been using everything that I've had sitting around the shop so far.
We're gonna go to the store. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. It is the next day. Because whenever we go to town, we know we're not getting back to work before the sun goes down. So, yeah. So it is a wonderful 25 degrees this morning. I think it's up to 30 now.
Yeah, I think so.
And at least it's still dry. So we're gonna finish this up and then we'll go over the details of how Jeff got everything put together to give us this wonderful chicken water. While Jeff gets his plumbing figured out, I will tell you when we went to the store yesterday to figure out how to get the water to drop down in easily, we're just gonna have to finagle it. Jeff's pretty handy that way. That's kind of like why I keep him around.
So like I said on these connections, they had what was like a water hose threading, which I believe is around 5/8 or 3/4, I think 5/8. And then on the other end, I had to where it would match up with a 3/4. So then taking a 3/4, because I want to run all the other piping into 1/2 inch, we just put a coupler with a little reducer that goes down to the 1/2 inch, and the 1/2 inch will stick right into it. And then this will thread all onto this easily. Alright, so for coming off, these little ends for going inside to the chicken coop, coming to the outside of the chicken coop, it's like a water hose connection. So your regular like 3/4 inch female wouldn't screw over the top of that, but they will fit into these, and of course you've got a washer, and this is like a little dual little water hose end connection. I found this over there like in the irrigation area in the Lowe's or Home Depot, and they're 3/4 or whatever, but they work so that you can use a male 3/4, and then this other end will actually screw onto the tank itself.
So while Jeff works on that, we got these from my mom. I think we showed them once before in our water catchment video that we did a long time ago. But anyway, these are leaf guards. So I'm just gonna be putting these up to keep leaves out of the gutters while Jeff works on doing this.
Instead of drilling that hole in your PVC and getting it lined all up just perfect, so these have worked out pretty good. I think they weren't very expensive. We'll leave a description down below of I guess where we found all this stuff. But these are nice because they just thread right on into the little T so that they'll be good, and you can kind of separate them out. They don't fit over like a regular T. So you need to normally use like a little coupling, and they fit really snug inside the coupling when you press it all down. But what I've ended up doing is, you know, coming off this elbow, and it'll stick right into the elbow, put a little coupling. Those little couplings, you know, they're pretty cheap, just to run them down like that. And then you can just use a regular cap on the end and to close it all off. And this is going to be the setup that I'm going to put on the inside, coming off the back of the tank. And I'll have a little cutoff valve in there, and then I'll have these little spots for them to drink out of. So what I ended up doing is just taking a downspout. I cut a little square hole that was the size of this, a little 3-inch or 2.5-inch little square hole into the downspout. And for right now, just to test everything out, I've got this little elbow so that no water will kind of backtrack this way as much. And so I can just stick that on there. Of course, I need to put a little sealant around there, of course, to hold the water from here. But that way, the water won't back out and just pour out this way. It'll still go all down that way, since my angle is not quite as good as or as much as I would like it. But it's working. It's going into the bucket. Well, hello, lady. How you doing? You just wanting to see what all going on up here too? So I'm gonna end up taking the cap here, and I'll cut the square notch that I need for this downspout elbow that's going into the bucket here. On the other side of this is the straight pipe going out to go to the inside. And then over here we have what's going to the outside, and then the overflow, when this gets all the way filled up, it'll shoot out. In hopefully theory, it seems like it'll work. Just shoot out the side. Can I help you? I don't want you pooping on my tools. So, I use my chicken pointer. There's the overflow right there, as you can see, coming out right there. Da, 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 da. And then you come down. Here's our water coming out. We're going to have a little faucet on the outside. You're making a great chicken pointer, isn't she? She's just great. And this is to fill, wash your hands, anything else we need that we can use that water off of to easy access. And then right below that, we'll have the cutoff valve right there. Goes all the way down to our waterers. I think these little clamps were for the electrical use, but the 3/4 size I've got will snap around and hold this 1/2-inch PVC pipe pretty well. That's probably all pretty close. I'll probably end up stretching this out a little bit, but like I said, I'm still just seeing if the system's gonna work pretty decent before I start really gluing everything together. So we already had a customer at the new watering station. She approves. If you like everything that was going on, please hit the like. Don't forget to subscribe if you wouldn't mind. And please share it with everybody you know. We enjoy doing all this kind of stuff. Hopefully helping out other people like other people have helped us out. And definitely any comments, any suggestions below, please leave those. We'd really, really appreciate it. Anything else to add?
If y'all have any questions about how Jeff did this chicken water, rain water catchment system, please leave those in the comments below. We'll try to clarify things as best we can. If you have any improvements that you think we should make, please let us know. And y'all have a fantastic and wonderful day.
Be careful. Can't wait to see y'all next time. Later. Yay!